Open the Parts and Service module. Click the New Parts Quote or New Parts Invoice quick link on the left side of the screen. If you want to tie an entity to the invoice, choose the Expand Details button in the upper right. In the Customer section, click the magnifying glass. This will open up a search screen. You can search by entity number, first name, last name, cell phone, or home phone number. If this is a new customer, you can click the Entity button to add the new customer. If this is an internal ticket, you can choose the button to apply Internal in the Customer section. You can choose the Summarize Details button to minimize this section, or scroll down the page to the invoice. Type the part number into the blank line to add it to the quote. You can choose the Ellipsis button to open a part search window to select a part and add it to the quote. Update the quantity sold and quantity relieved for the invoice. You will need to update the quantity sold and quantity relieved for each part. If you need to discount a part, enter the discount dollar amount in the parts row under the discount column. To view upsell parts or substitutes, scroll to the right in the list of parts to access the buttons to view those. You can view information about the parts added to the invoice by clicking to highlight the part and scrolling down the page. View quantities on hand, on order, and available. Click to view the part's master inventory record by clicking the View Master Inventory button. Update the salesperson for parts easily by selecting the Choose Salesperson button. If you need to add a part from a price book, you can select the Price List button to view the price book and supersession information. If this will be a special order part, choose the Order Parts button on the right side of the invoice. This will open a window where you can choose which parts to order and whether you want to add the parts to the order list or place the parts immediately on an order. Continue scrolling down the invoice to view the invoice breakdown. This will display the totals for each aspect of the invoice, including deposit amounts and sales tax. If you need to take a deposit for the invoice, select the Deposit button at the bottom of the window. Please note that you will have to choose the entity for the invoice to be able to take a deposit. You can enter the deposit amount and choose to cash out the deposit to take the payment or send it to a centralized cashier. The Discount button at the bottom of the invoice allows you to discount the entire invoice by a percentage amount. If the customer has parts to be returned, you can select the Apply Return button to add the invoice number of the original invoice. The Core Credit button is used when a customer brings back a core after purchasing the new part. Upload documents related to the invoice by choosing the Upload Docs button, and view uploaded documents by selecting the View Docs button. Click the Print button at the bottom to print a copy of the invoice. If you wish to save the invoice but not complete it, choose the Save button. This will add the invoice to the invoice list for completion later. Closing an invoice requires that all parts are relieved. Choosing the Close button marks the invoice as completed but does not take payment. Often, this is used for internal invoices that do not require cash out. If the invoice is being paid in full, select the Cash Out button at the bottom of the invoice window. This will move you to the Sales Register screen to allow you to take payment. Choose the payment method, enter the amount paid in the field to the right. Click the Print button to complete the transaction.